make sure everything's working first. It's talking to YouTube. YouTube's thinking. Yeah, we're live. All right, here we go. Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Bets. I am the Brofect One AJ, and with me, as always, is the sportsbook whisperer, the man with all the numbers, the college basketball guru, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, how the hell you doing today, bud?
Fantastic, AJ. I'm doing great. How are you?
Bro, I couldn't complain if I tried. As we are talking right now live on YouTube, we have Boston College going up against Pitt in the first round of the ACC tournament. Boston College was a 2-point favorite going into this game. Noah, let's get right into the bets real quick because that's what we're here. I took Boston College minus the 2. You can probably still get them at -2, -1.5 now live. What are your thoughts on this game, and did you get any action early?
I did not on this one because it's honestly just kind of a crapshoot. Neither of these teams are very good.
100%.
I thought about Pitt money line, didn't pull the trigger on it. I'd still ride with it though. I'd take the plus odds live if I were to do that, but not messing around with this game.
No, don't blame you. Don't blame you. It was one of those games where I'm off today, so I was like, might as well get my morning started with some college basketball gambling, you know?
Well, I did that with, to be fair, with the Horizon League Women's Championship. So,
Did you win though? Because that's all that matters.
I did.
Hell yeah!
Nice little championship crown for Ooey Pooey.
Ooh, ooey pooey. Love to see it. Shout out. No, there's just a lot of good basketball on today. And, here on Degenerate Bets, what we like to do is we like to make bets. We like to get everything rocking and rolling. So do you want to start from what I think is honestly a steal and where kind of the books have already started fucking up in college basketball?
I mean, that started at the beginning of the season, but but yeah, let's go ahead and dive right in.
Yeah, let's go ahead dive into it. No, the first game I'm talking about where the line, I'm just looking at it and it doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. Sorry, that's my alarm. It is NC State going to against Clemson. Clemson being a 5-point favorite going into this game, under one total being 143. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. This NC State team has not been a solid squad by any means necessary. Obviously, going 11-20 on the season. But
No,
Clemson at 16-15 have not been very impressive either this season.
Yeah, and a little interesting. I, coming into the season, expected more out of this Clemson team. I thought they'd be pretty decent. I was riding them a little bit for the beginning of the season. They were actually doing me pretty well through their non-conference schedule, and then they, a couple losses, and I gave up on them. But I still have that sliver of hope for them. I do think they are a bit better than their record would say. But so I'm riding them on the 5. I like that number at 5 too. It's a good one. Could easily be a 4 or 5 point game. Tack on those free throws at the end and get that nice little cover. But NC State's terrible, and not only are they 11-20 on the season, they're 7-24 ATS, which is, I believe, the worst in D1 this year. So
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they against the spread, they're not good. And let's just talk about the last 5, for example. They're 1-4 their last 5 ATS, while Clemson is sitting at 2-3 ATS in the last 5. Something to note, though, the over has been chilling in Clemson games for the last 5, but only 1 out of the last 5 for NC State. So if this is going over, this is going to be going over because Clemson blows out NC State. I'm going to take NC State on the points. I understand, I believe me, I know Clemson is going to win this
famous
game.
Last
I think
words.
5 is a lot. Fuck off. I think I'm chilling with Yeah, I'm chilling with NC State plus the 5, and then I'm also going to take the under 143. If this is going to go over, like I said, Clemson is going to have to blow them out. I do think this is going to be a sloppy game. I don't think there's going to be a ton of points scored, so I'll take the under 143 along with NC State plus the 5.
Yeah, I would say I like the under from a different perspective. I think if this game is a blowout, which I think it could end up being, I don't think that benefits the over. I think if it's a close game, that's actually probably more beneficial for the over. Uh, but I could see this being like a 70-50 type of game, or 70-55, and not coming very close to that over under.
We'll see. We'll see. That's what gambling's all about. Hey, I haven't touched totals really all season, and so now I think going into March Madness, I think I'm starting to see a lot of numbers on the totals that I'm liking, and so you're gonna start seeing a pattern later on in this episode, Noah. Um, Game you want to talk about next? Do you care about any of the other games between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock?
The only one that really jumps out to me is the Jacksonville and Bellarmine game, just because that's a championship final game, so whoever wins going to
Yeah.
be punching their ticket. Obviously, I had Liberty. Um, I had them winning the ASUN. Unfortunately, an early exit in the conference tournament. We will not be seeing Liberty most likely in the big
No.
dance. Uh, these are two teams that whoever gets in, this will be a 15 or 16 seed. It's not going to be anything too impressive. They'll earn the right to get shellacked in the first round, but hey,
Hey,
they'll still be in the dance.
they will be, and that's all that matters in the end is that you are there in the dance. Noah, the next game I want to talk about that I'm kind of interested in is going to be Georgia Tech and Louisville. Louisville is a 1.5 point favorite in this game, total at 134.5. Uh, Again, we're dealing. This is conference. This is going to be just some rough teams playing some other rough teams. Both of them 12. Well, Georgia Tech 12-19, Louisville 12-18 on the season. Not looking really good either way. Both teams ATS are sitting at about 3-2 in their last five, over 1-5 in both of their last 5 games. I mean, this one. I'm not going to pick a side because this is going to be a shit show on both teams, and it's really going to be who doesn't fuck up the most. So I am just going to chill with the under 134.5. I may throw it in a parlay and tease it up just a little bit to 138.5, maybe 140.5 if I'm feeling desperate. But I kind of like that total where it's at. I think these teams suck, and we're going to see a lot of unders.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. I've been burned by Louisville this season. I have not been burned by Georgia Tech because I don't think I've placed a single bet on Georgia Tech. So um, I'm leaning Georgia Tech. I'm gonna stay off of it because this just seems like a recipe for disaster. Uh,
Fair.
I like the over in this game, though. Both of these teams
Okay.
don't play very good defense, so not that they play good offense either, but their defense sucks. So we're gonna hope for a close game and that over.
Good for you. No, you're feeling these overs today. I mean, and I don't, well, except for the last one, but I don't blame you, man. Overs are a lot more fun than cheering for the unders.
Oh,
um.
and I didn't give my pick on that
Oh, sorry.
Jacksonville Bellarmine game, and Bellarmine a 2.5 point favorite. I like Jacksonville on the money line. Take those plus odds.
Ooh, love it, love it. I think I'm gonna have to ride that. Might as well. Anyway, moving on right along. Noah, we do have a couple, smaller games that they matter obviously, but just smaller conferences also getting their play in right now. One I kind of want to skip ahead to because it's a team that that's a little bit later. Well, do you have any of these other games, these 5 o'clock games that really stand out to you? There's one game that does on like the 5:30 line, but nothing really at 5 o'clock.
I mean, I noticed that both Marshall and Manhattan are both playing today, which
Yes.
AJ, I have been for probably the second half of the season fading both of those teams any chance I can get. It's my fade the green M strategy, and it's worked pretty well. I'm not going to stop now. I will be fading both green M's.
I love it, dude. Well, let's talk about that then, because let's talk about Marshall FIU, because I got a couple picks on this game. I also am on FIU money line. This Marshall team sucks, dude, and I'm with you. And looking at their records and everything, I mean, even just the trends, and I'm a trend guy. I'm a trendy guy and shit like that. FIU 2-3 on the money line in their last five, covering three out of their last two, while Marshall chilling 3-2 in their last five as well, but also covering 3-2. Overs going three for the last five for FIU, two of the last five for Marshall. So Noah, give me FIU money line and the under 147.5. That's way too many points. That's rough.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna stay away from the over and under. I'm just gonna stick with my fade the green M's.
Fair enough,
Hey,
my man. Fair and
you know what? I'm seeing a direct correlation. Ever
oh,
ever
are you?
since ever since the green M&M wasn't allowed to be sexy anymore. Fade the green M's.
Whoa. So you're saying because the green
Yeah.
M&M is no longer a sex icon, the other green M's are suffering from a almost morale like hit.
Yeah, dude. I just
Wow.
everything in the universe is kind of anti green M right now. You know,
Wow.
just the vibes
Wow.
are
So
off.
breaking news.
Something's not right. But I don't know what it is. That's my theory. But we're gonna roll with it.
Well, so breaking news. You heard it here first. Um, green M&Ms no longer sexy. Is that due to? Is that due to? I mean, the M's losing. Is that due to green M&M not being sexy anymore? That is something that I think we will have to discuss. Excuse me, at length later, Noah. Um, After that, we got Southern Miss UTSA. Do you want to talk about that one, or you want to skip on by?
Um, I I don't even know with that one. That's one of those where
Me
I
either,
think
man.
just a lot of these first round games are just crapshoots. I mean, you get some where it's like, you get a good feeling about one, but yeah, I don't even know with that.
No, I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you. It's a crapshoot. I mean, Southern Miss is 6-25. UTSA is 10-21, and UTSA is only a 3.5 point favorite. Like, what is going on there?
I mean,
Anyway,
what are their? I mean, conference records are pretty similar. I mean,
oh,
uh, Southern Miss 1 win in conference play, UTSA 3 wins. So it's he, yeah, I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot more factors in that with strength of schedule and all that, which I can pull that up right now if you'd like to hear.
ooh, please do. Yeah, I would love to hear it, Noah. Any stats help.
All right.
Not much of an analytics
Wait.
guy, but when it comes to betting, I'll take anything I can get.
Southern Miss, they were ranked 189 in non-conference strength of schedule, and UTSA 347, that's out of 358. So they had the 11th easiest non-conference schedule. So that would explain your
That would
um,
explain it.
that would explain your 5 win discrepancy there between the two teams. I think they're pretty evenly matched. Obviously, like I said, UTSA picking up 3 conference wins instead of 1, so I guess
Yep.
I would maybe lean towards them, but still, this just screams trouble to me, AJ. I think I'd have better luck betting on Chinese basketball.
I'm with you on that one, Noah. Let's move on to a game with that I actually like a lot. Um, This might be my biggest play of the night because I'm looking at these other college games and just nothing else is really speaking out to me. So this might be my main event of the evening. I'm talking about UT Rio Grande going up against our Longwood Lancers, Noah. Longwood Lancers are a 7.5 point favorite going into this game. 146.5 is the total. No, we've
What
spent.
are you looking at, man? They're not Longwood won their conference. They're playing Cal Baptist.
Oh shit. Yeah, I just can't read Noah. That is me
How,
assuming, and you know
how do
what they
you
say about assuming. I saw Lancers.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, how did you mix up Cal Baptist and
No, no, no,
Longwood?
no. So on my site, it literally just says UT Grand Valley and Lancers, and
Okay,
so then
that
I
makes
just clicked on
that.
the game, and now it says Cal Baptist Lancers.
Okay, thanks for the clarification. I was very confused there how you mixed up Cal Baptist and Longwood.
Yeah, so that would be called assuming. No, it made an ass out of you and me right there. Well, mostly me, but it is what it is. Anyway, my pick doesn't really change much whether it's the Longwood or the Cal Baptist. 2-3 in their last five. The Lancers are straight up 3-2 against the spread. UT Rio Grande is just awful. They're 0-5 in their last five games money line. 2-3 ATS over is 1-5 in their last five games. Same with the over for the Lancers. No, give me the Lancers minus 7.5 and under 146.5.
Yeah, I'm with you on the 7.5. Staying off the over under on this one, but yeah,
I don't know why
UT
I'm
Rio
feeling good
Grande,
on the over unders today.
UT Rio Grande, they're just bad.
They're bad,
They are bad. Now,
bad at the basketball.
if they were playing the Longwood Lancers, I think this spread would be more like 15, but I'd still take Longwood.
Still take Longwood. Love it, love it. Ooh, any other games that catch your eye tonight, Noah? I mean, not even college basketball. Let's talk hockey. Let's talk regular basketball.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got a couple more college basketball games. You can't tell me you're just going to breeze over St. Mary's Gonzaga in that West Coast Conference final.
Again, Noah, this is the site I'm using right now. It is not doing the best for me. I think I'm going to move over to another site now because I
Well,
can't believe I
you
would
know,
forget about my Gonzaga and St.
that,
Mary's.
that's what you got me here for, right?
Obviously, no. If I didn't have you, this show would probably be worse than it is right now, and that's hard to do. So I
um,
appreciate you, Noah. Let's talk about it though. Gonzaga, 12.5 point favorite going into this game, total being at 140. I mean, it was obviously going to be St. Mary's versus Gonzaga since the start of this tournament. They were clearly the two best teams going into this conference play and everything like that. I mean, it's
yeah,
just
but
obvious.
it wasn't really necessarily a cakewalk for either of them. I mean, if you look at the scores, kind of, but San Francisco, they're a good team. Santa Clara is sneaky good. They seem to be the forgotten one in that conference that people never
Yeah.
mention, but they were good. And BYU, they were in the rankings earlier this season, but they clearly fell off, finishing like fifth in the conference or something like that.
Oh, 100%.
But I wouldn't go. Now, I would say yes. I would have expected this matchup. I wouldn't go as far as calling it a cakewalk for either team.
Fair enough, fair enough. But, well, now, sitting here with this 12.5 point spread, Noah, I mean, that's a lot of points for these two teams that, I mean, yeah, Gonzaga's better, but are they that much better than St. Mary's? Are they 12.5 points better than St. Mary's this game?
Well, and keep in mind, St. Mary's, spanked Gonzaga only about a week ago on, call it Armageddon Saturday. Uh, which, I mean, Gonzaga was down like 10 to 15 points almost that entire game.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the worst games I've seen Gonzaga play all season. And let me tell you, they came out firing. Like, I think that loss lit a fire under their ass the last game of their regular season. And then, they came out real hot against San Francisco. Obviously, San Francisco kind of clawed back into that game a little bit, but it was just the deficit was too much. So I guess what I'm wondering is, is that fire still going to be there? And I think it is. I think they're going to come out really hot. So I don't know if I'm fully on that 12.5 for the game, but 6.5, 7.5 first half spread. I like that. I think they come out to a roaring hot start, a little revenge game, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely. I see the revenge game angle. I really do. I mean, yeah, they got embarrassed a couple weeks ago, along with all the other top five, top six teams. That was a rough game, and they're definitely going to be out for blood. They have been playing extremely well this year. There is something, though. There is something, Noah, in my head that brings me back to this last Saturday when I was telling everyone that would listen UNC money line over Duke in Coach K's last home game. And I'm kind of getting the same vibes from this game. I don't know why. I can't, I have no reasoning, Noah. I have no logical reasoning. But give me this plus 650 St. Mary's money line.
All right. I mean, I can't
It's March.
I can't say anything about that because the last two times you have came at me with a dog pick, I have completely and utterly disagreed. You called TCU over Kansas, and I said no way. Kansas covers the 6 points easy, and then you said UNC money line, and I think I just responded no.
I said UNC money line hashtag book it, and you were just no, and no response after that. You were just like didn't even entertain the idea.
So I like to think I'm a big man. I can admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I have completely and utterly disagreed with. And you don't hardly ever text me basketball picks.
Never. I never text you basketball picks.
And the last two that you've texted me, over the last like 2 weeks, I have just shot them down immediately, and I've been wrong on both of those. So I will say
Hey, we'll see again.
I stayed off of that UNC Duke game. I didn't take any action on it, so I wasn't.
That's a good that. If you weren't taking UNC money line, you shouldn't have taken the line. That was a sketch line. It was just a sketch game, but unlike that game where I actually had some reasoning as to why UNC would win and as some reasoning to why TCU would win. This one on, I just look at that number and the 12.5 seems so high for a conference championship game. I don't give a shit who's playing.
Yeah, but you're not taking the 12.5. You're taking the money line.
No, yeah, I'm taking a money line. but that's my point.
Right.
Like I would take the 12.5. Like I'm gonna take the 12.5 too to hedge my bet and cover my ass a little bit. But I'm taking the but money line is gonna be my main pick on that one. That's probably a unit and a half, 2 unit play for me.
Yeah, I honestly feel like this is a pretty fair spread. I could see this going either way. Like I said, I like Gonzaga in the first half spread, but I wouldn't be surprised if St. Mary's then comes and counter punches.
Oh, 100%.
What I really want is just like first like 8 to 10 minutes, but they don't really offer you that. Like if this was played in quarters, I would love the first quarter spread for Gonzaga, but it's not. So
Yeah.
I'm worried that counterpunch from St. Mary's comes late in the first half. But I'll be taking Gonzaga at whatever it is, 6.5, 7.5 for the first half spread.
That's a great line. If you can get that first half spread, I would agree that Gonzaga on the first half is probably the best bet of the night. Yeah, and then the full game, you're just kind of tossing a coin. That second half, when the championship's on the line and tickets need to be punched, I mean, anything can happen. And so I'm counting on the chaos. I love me some chaos. So Noah,
yeah, there's one more game that I
was about to say
care about today, and that is the shitstorm that is the battle for the Dakotas. We've got South Dakota State and North Dakota State in the Summit League Championship. Man, I love the Summit League just because like 3 out of the 4 best teams are South Dakota State, and North Dakota State. University of North Dakota, they're shit.
Yeah.
And then you got Oral Roberts, but man, yeah, this will be a fun one. South Dakota State 6-point favorite. I'm riding that. took them at minus 195 or something like that to win the conference. And I was telling you before we went live, I pretty much could have just waited for this game, and it's minus 265, so it's not that much different, but whatever.
No.
Either way, I think South Dakota State wins, and I think they cover the 6. They're looking pretty damn dominant. One of 2 teams, I believe, in the country to go undefeated in conference play.
Whew.
Them and Murray State, who has already punched their ticket. I expect South Dakota State to punch their ticket. And even if they lose this game, we might still see South Dakota State as like a 12 or 13 seed in this tournament. They're good. Which would be weird.
Yeah, I could completely see that.
2-bid Summit League, it is March, and it is madness.
Anything.
I would not rule it out. We could see a 2-bid Summit League. That would be wild.
Wild.
But no, too many Dakota teams. We don't need that.
No, not at all. But Noah, that's all the games that I have to talk about. Do you have any other games you want to talk about? Anything else you want to say to the Degens before we sign off and enjoy this awesome conference championship Tuesday?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see a couple more tickets punched today, a few more over, just pretty much all of the next days. And by Sunday, by Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, depending on what part of the country you're in, we'll know what our bracket looks like.
We will, and hopefully we will be able to cover Selection Sunday when that comes around. I'm still waiting to hear on a couple things before we can determine that, Noah, but we will figure something out because Selection Sunday, man, I mean, that's the start to the madness, and then start to what will be the biggest week in Degenerate Takes history, where we start our live stream from Decentraland on March 17th, following all March Madness action, rounds 1 and 2 live in Decentraland. Noah will be with me. We will have some other guests, which I do need to talk to you about after this show, and it's going to be a great time, Noah, live in Decentraland. We will drop the link down below. Of course, follow us on Twitter at Degen Takes for more action, bets, everything like that, all we do. Any last thoughts, Noah?
Hey, baby, let's watch some basketball.
Let's watch some basketball. We will see you next time on Degenerate Takes.